My name is Bernie Olivas, Executive Director of the Sun Bowl, and once again I'd like to welcome everybody to the 2011 kickoff Rotary Luncheon. And we're extremely happy to have both coaches come in here and address the press. I'm going to introduce who's up at the front table first to get it going. To my immediate right is Oscar Leeser, President and CEO of Hyundai of El Paso, our title sponsor. To my far left is a man that you all know, John Fulmer, been our football chairman for 41 years. I'd like to introduce also Jimmy Rogers, who's sitting up front, our 51-year volunteer with the Sun Bowl and the grandfather of the Sun Bowl. I'm going to let John introduce the coaches when he gets up here. But again, once again, the Sun Bowl has always taken pride in trying to get the best possible matchup for our football game. And again, I think once again we have hit a home run by inviting the University of Utah and Georgia Tech to play in the 78th annual Hyundai Sun Bowl. So at this time, I just want to hand it over to John Fulmer. John Fulmer will do the introductions, and he'll go over through the procedures of the rest of the press conference. So John, it's all yours.
Thanks, Bernie. Once again, guys, we appreciate you all coming down. We really appreciate the two coaches, especially busy time of the year. They just had the Hall of Fame in New York, and they're starting their recruiting in full force. This year, more importantly, is because I think as many coaches as you all are aware of that have lost their jobs or moving from one place to another, there's a lot of young athletes out there that are decommitting to schools they went to. So it's an important time of the year for these guys to be out on the road and reaffirming their guys and strengthening up their position with them and having an opportunity to go and get some of those guys that have decided to decommit. So it's really significant that these two guys have come in today and spend time with us. And as you know, this is really the kickoff that we have that really gets things going in El Paso. We've never had any problem in the past with our tickets, and we've done and been greatly supported by the local community, but it gives everybody a chance to start thinking and talking Sun Bowl and start talking about the great matchup we're going to have. And this year, like any other year, in the last few years we've had, is going to be a great one. And we're fortunate enough to have these guys come in and spend time with us. They don't have a lot of time to spend with us today, but I think when you get a chance to visit with them and meet them like we have in the past, you'll find out they're both quality guys, and it'll be indicated by their football teams once they get here and play in our game. Our first coach, as you all know the procedure, we'll have the coaches talk a little bit about their particular university and their particular team, and then we'll introduce the other coach, and he'll do the same, and then we'll get down to the thing that you guys really like, an important part about asking questions and breaking them off into individual interviews that you do and do so well. But our first coach comes to us from the ACC, Georgia Tech. He's been there a short 4 years. He's already appreciated and gained a tremendous amount of success. He was obviously very successful before he got to Georgia Tech, and since he's been there, it's been incredible. He's already been to a BCS game in his 4-year period. He's won more games than any coach his first year in his first 4 years. He has an incredible over 700% winning percentage in his college career, which puts him up there in the top 10%. He is he's known for his great offense. He's known for his great unity of his teams, and I've enjoyed the opportunity of watching him play, and not only when he was at the Service Academy, but watching him coach and play down at Georgia Tech. And believe me, he's a good guy, and I think you all will really enjoy him as you get to know him, as you will both of these guys. But the first, as I said before, the first speaker and the guy who'll talk to us first is Coach Johnson. Coach.
Well, thank you, John. I tell you, it's as you said, it's a little bit nervous when you have these press conferences this time of year. You don't know what's going to happen. But on behalf of Georgia Tech, let me tell you how excited we are to have the opportunity to come here and play in the bowl game. I've heard so many positive things about the experience of the Sun Bowl, the people involved. Every coach that I've talked to that had an opportunity to play here says it's a great experience, that you won't find any place that's more hospitable, that the volunteers and the people in the community are just great. And certainly we're looking forward to coming here and representing our conference and Georgia Tech in the game. Congratulations to Kyle and Utah. They had another successful season, and they've been outstanding, I think, since Kyle's been there. It'll be a huge challenge in the football game. I think it matches up, you know, if you look at statistics, they have one of the top defenses in the country. So it'll be a huge challenge for us offensively, and they certainly have some weapons on offense as well. So, you know, got a couple of weeks to prepare. It'll be here before you know it, and just looking forward to coming and playing. We got off to a great start this year. Started the season 6-0, and did not finish the way that we would have liked to have finished our season. So hopefully we've got one more game, and we can come in and play well and make it a competitive game against Utah. It should be a lot of fun. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. I know, in the sidebar, I know we have a very great relationship and a great relationship with CBS. Jimmy has been our lead guy for many, many years with CBS. And when he talked to CBS about our matchup, they were very excited. They think it's going to be a great football game. Obviously, they know, you know, the offensive skills that Georgia Tech has, and they know the kind of football teams that Kyle has developed there in his years at Utah, and they're very pumped up about it, and they're excited. And I think they give us a great opportunity to be on national TV with CBS. Once again, as you guys well know, you know, we're still the second oldest property that they have, and the oldest being the Masters, and the second being the Sun Bowl. And that comes from a lot of hard work and a lot of appreciated hours put in by Jimmy and his crew that usually takes care of the CBS people. But our next coach is really no stranger, shouldn't be a stranger to El Paso. It was funny when I picked him up at the airport a while ago, he was asking about UTEP, and he had played here with BYU when he was playing with UTEP, and he asked about Coach Young and if he was still around and so forth. So he's pretty familiar with El Paso, and it's great that we can get Utah to come back here. I know he's undertaken his success, as you all are very aware of. You know, not too many years ago, he was 13-0 and beat a pretty good Alabama team, if I recall, in the Sugar Bowl, and has success, and success has continued to follow him, not only at BYU, but at Utah. But I think his biggest challenge that he's had in recent years is the one he's undertaken this year, and that's joining the Pac-12. A little bit different, a little different degree of competition, a little different degree of, you know, how you're appreciated and what you're thought of and so forth, and he's done an outstanding job. And when we had an opportunity to get and talk to Utah, we were very excited that they would even be close to us, because, you know, so many people, and with their tradition, with Coach, his tradition about winning, and over the years it's been very successful, and we're extremely elated to be able to get them in our game. And it was touch and go with some of the other people, bowl guys in our bowl system, the way it works, and you guys know we're under contract, and we'll have to put our heads together. And at the end of the day, we were very pleased, because we know that Utah will bring twice as many people as those other guys that were in the pecking order. And that is why we're in the business, is to put heads in beds, and they'll do a great job. And Kyle is a great guy. We visited with him before. He's probably going to catch him at a more relaxed stage than we've ever caught him before. The other times that I've talked to him, he has about 2 words to say: yes, no. And of course, that's the night before the game. But Coach, we're glad to have you guys here and bringing Utah back, and we look forward to having the Utes in El Paso. Coach.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. On behalf of the University of Utah and the Pac-12 Conference, we're elated to be here in the Sun Bowl. I'd like to thank Bernie and the selection committee that made this possible. It's actually the second time that the University of Utah has been in the Sun Bowl. I think it was 40, 50 years ago that they were down here. In fact, what year was it?
39.
39, okay, so I in the math. Whatever that is.
The year before I was born.
It's been a while. Coach Chow, our offensive coordinator on our staff, I think he was on that team. I'll have to check with him on that. But like I said, we're excited to be here. To echo Coach Johnson, we've heard great things about this bowl. I had a coach on my staff last year who was with the Washington Huskies way back when, and had a chance to come to 2 or 3 Sun Bowls, and said great experience, and in fact one of the best bowl experiences they had while at the University of Washington. So we are very excited to be here. Our players are looking forward to it. The community's excited, and so you just can't tell you how much of a great opportunity this is for us. I want to congratulate Coach Johnson as well for his success. It was actually the second time that we faced a Coach Johnson team kind of. We were in this 2007 Poinsettia Bowl when Coach had just left Navy to assume the job at Georgia Tech, so he wasn't actually there, but we know all about the toughness and the type of teams that he produces. As a former defensive coordinator, his offense as a defensive coordinator's nightmare, I can tell you that right now. And we just left the Mountain West Conference and we then left Air Force, and we thought we were done with this, but it's rearing its ugly head again, and so we've got our work cut out for us, and it's the type of offense you can never really shut down. You just hope to slow it down a little bit and enough to stay competitive in the game, but he runs this offense as good as anybody in the country. They're third in the nation in rushing, well over 300 yards a game, nearly 6 yards a carry, which is phenomenal. They don't throw the ball a whole lot, but when they do, they're very efficient. Throw the ball about a dozen times a game, but they get 140-plus yards a game through the air, which is what they're looking for. Third downs, they're awesome. 55% conversion rate, 75% touchdown rate in the red zone. It goes on and on and on, the things that they've accomplished this year. And they play some good defense as well. I don't want to leave that out. But anyway, bottom line, we've got to work cut out for us. As far as our team, we finished fairly strong. We had a rough start to the Pac-12. We were 0-4. Right out of the gate, ended up winning 4 of our last 5 conference games. We were able to play our way into a bowl game. And so, like I said, it was some rough sledding at the first, but our seniors held things together. Couldn't help but be more proud of a group of players than I was this group this year. And we're excited to be here. So thank you very much.
Thank you. You guys, what we'll do is now we'll take a few questions from the audience, and then we'll break up on the individual interviews. So have at it. You guys know who they are, you know the right questions to ask and the wrong questions to ask. So feel free to fire away.
Coach Whittingham, moving up to the Pac-12, was the toughest thing the level of competition changing, or was it new teams you were unfamiliar with, new road trips, new stadiums?
Without a doubt, the level of competition. The bars have been raised in all areas, and not only with the athletes to face each week, but facilities, budget, I mean everything. The bar was raised in all areas, and it's not. We were prepared for it. We watched film all summer long. It's not like it caught us off guard. We knew that it was going to be very competitive and very, very difficult situation. But like I said, I thought our guys handled it well, and we came out. We won't term it a great season, but we felt pretty good about our start as far as our transition into the Pac-12. Well, you guys are easy.
They got their homework. We usually put out a pretty good spread. Just have
Well, Coach, I'll throw out another one. Coming into the year, I guess probably the thing you felt best about was having a third-year starter, junior quarterback back. And probably the thing you felt worst about was not having any NCAA experience behind him. Did that kind of turn into rebuilding when he got hurt?
Well, I hate the term rebuilding, but it certainly caused us to rethink what we were doing offensively. And our backup, John Hayes, we didn't have the luxury of having him there in spring ball. He was a late arrival to our team, and so we didn't know a whole lot about him. It took us a couple weeks to figure out the blueprint that was going to be best for us to start winning games with him at the quarterback position. We had to modify things offensively. But once we went through that adjustment period, I thought John played very well. And the bottom line is, the blueprint we came up with was take care of the football, score touchdowns in the red zone, play great special teams, and play great defense. And that's not much different than anybody else's model. But that's what it took for us to get back on track. We turned the ball over excessively early in the year, and that was our biggest issue going through that 0-4 stretch, is we were turning the ball over way far too often. We got that corrected, and once John Hayes got settled in the quarterback position, and a big dose of John White, that was the other part of it, was his feed the tailback of football. He ended up, with over 1,000 yards, and I think he was second in the Pac-12 conference division.
You ever wonder what would have happened if Nebraska Omaha hadn't dropped football?
Yeah, that's a good question. We do have other quarterbacks in the program. They're young, inexperienced, far more so than John, but we did have a couple of young guys in the program that would have had to step up. And that's the nature of the business. The injuries are an unfortunate part of college football, and you got to have guys step up when somebody goes down, and everybody deals with it to one extent or another. It just happened to be in the quarterback position for us, which is a little bit magnified.
Coaches, Bo Bagley, KTSM, KBC TV. Question for both of you. Both coming off a tough loss to end the season. You talked about the state of the team, Coach Johnson. Now you first.
Well, I think that certainly, we play our in-state rival the last game of the year every year, and it's a huge game for not only our team but alumni. It's kind of bragging rights for the state, and You know, it was a huge game, but I think after a while you bounce back. The neat thing is you have an opportunity to play again. And, you know, most of the guys who play college football, these are young men that are fairly resilient. You know, it's going to sting for a little bit, but they tend to bounce back fairly quickly. And, you know, we started practice really this week. We started on Monday, and the guys have shown up with a good attitude and good work ethic, so we're excited about having a chance to play again. You know, the end of our season, we played some awfully good football teams. I think we went through a span. In 3 weeks, we played the number 5 team in the country. Virginia Tech, I'm not sure where they were ranked when we played them. They got as high as 5. Georgia was ranked 12. And now we're facing another team who's playing really well here at the end of the year and has a good football team. So for a young team, if you look at our team in Tech, 31 of our 44 2 deep are freshmen and sophomores. So it's a pretty young team, and I think they're fairly resilient.
Yeah, we dropped our last ball game as well, obviously, and disappointing to say the least. Had we been able to win that game, we would have been in the Pac-12 championship against Oregon, so it stung in that respect even more. But to echo what Coach Johnson said, we got one more opportunity now to send our seniors out the right way, which is what you want to do. The senior class is really takes ownership of the football team, in my opinion. It's not about coaches; it's all about players in college football, and particularly about the seniors. And so we don't have a big senior class. We have 13 seniors on scholarship, so it's a very small senior class. So I guess we're a relatively young football team as well. But to have those guys have one more opportunity to play again and play together is big for us. We have not started practice yet. We start today, and so I'm expecting them to come out with the right attitude and get started the right way.
Anybody else? All right, we'll break up individual